Madhuri Dixit wore a 68,000 rupees outfit of this famous fashion designer who is our guest in this episode. This woman turned her mother's fashion legacy into a global empire that now dresses Bollywood's biggest stars. She is Ranna Gill, a luxury ready-to-wear fashion label selling outfits starting from rupees 10,000 up to a few lakhs. You will find her stores in some of the most prominent lanes in cities like Hyderabad, Delhi, Bombay, and more. Ranna Gill got viral last year after Madhuri Dixit wore a black pantsuit for the very first time, ditching her conventional Indian traditional look for Ranna Gill's closing show at Alchemy Fashion Week. This episode is very important for all the fashion students out there, as this conversation will leave you with many ideas, stories, and inspiration. Hope you enjoy listening to Ranna Gill as she uncovers how she became the brand Ranna Gill. Madhuri Dixit once wore your black pantsuit, and it was like around 65,000, and it made news all over.
We sold over 300.
Oh my god,
Yeah, over.
that's quite good.
It is.
Who all have you worked with?
We did Karishma, after Karishma Madhuri. We keep sending clothes to dress Katrina, we've dressed Kareena Kapoor. We've dressed everybody in the business. We dressed Bollywood. I always wanted to be a designer. I grew up in the business. My parents had a children's wear business, and that's where I saw fashion as a young girl growing up in India. That was the reason why I started my brand.
But do you think in the bridal category the margins are higher?
For bridal, it's a process. It's meetings with the head designer, with their team. It's the events. It's going back to the jewelry, going back to the month, going back to the parents, the in-laws. There's a lot of decision makers. It's a whole different business. Fashion is not glamorous at all. It's such a terrible myth, and it's not. It's a daily grind. It's daily, everyday hours, and it's a lot of sweat. It's just a lot of sweat. An extension of my brand, I would love to do home. I love home. I would love to do skincare and makeup.
Tell me, which has been one of the most challenging moments in your career so far? Welcome, Ranna Gill, to our show. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you so much.
I know that you're not keeping well today, but thanks for making it.
I'll be fine. Thank you.
Yeah, and we usually start with a rapid fire because people usually ask that in the end, but we're like, no, we are going to energize the conversation right from the beginning.
Okay.
So in 60 seconds, why don't you explain our viewers as to what led you to start fashion as a subject to pursue, and what made you become a brand of your own? In 60 seconds, how do you explain that?
I always wanted to be a designer. I grew up in the business. My parents had a children's wear business, and that's where I saw fashion as a young girl growing up in India, and that was my igniter. That was the reason why I started my brand, and here I am so many years later.
Yeah, and if you could explain us what the process from the idea to the product, the final product when it gets into your store, what's the process?
There are many processes. I mean, it's not one straight path, but it always starts with a mood board, inspiration, seasons, what deliveries are we doing, what is she looking to wear, how do we update her wardrobe, what is new, what is special, where is she going out in that outfit. Prints are very important DNA of the brand. So we always design our own prints, and that is the beginning or the starting point of designing a collection. So we kind of put our minds together, me and my whole team put our minds together on what the prints of the season will be looking like, where is the inspiration coming from, and then we kind of take it from there. Then we layer on pieces, layer on embellishments, layer on key classics, layer on special evening going out pieces. We kind of have the basic, and then we build it out from there.
Just like the print you're wearing
Yes,
right now.
this is from our new spring summer collection.
Oh,
it's
amazing.
called Boca. Yes.
Nice. Which is launching today, right?
Yes, it is.
Amazing.
Yes.
And like as a part of the rapid fire, the last question is that how do you decide the pricing of your designs? Like, for example, you're coming up with this new collection. How do you know what price point to sell it at?
My brand has a sweet spot of pricing, and we're priced from 8,000 to 30,000. That's the price point we sell at. That's a luxury pret. Those are our price points. So then from, once we've got our basics, then we layer on our special pieces, then we layer on our even more going out evening pieces. So the pricing stays between that range, and we serve that range to our customer, and prices we slot them in that price point. But having said that, we don't design collections, we don't base the price before and then go out and design a collection.
Yeah.
We do price it obviously because it ultimately does have to sell, but the price is not the setting factor of the designs of the collections. The collections are the core, the nucleus, and then we see, okay, fine, and then the price comes way later in the game. It's like much later.
Right. And what kind of margins do you make in your brand?
Not everything there's no one set rule for everything. Sometimes the margins are, they just vary. They could be as low as none and as high as, 40-50%. So it depends. It depends on the product, depends on what we feel, our conviction, what we want to put out there. So there's no set rule, pretty much.
But do you think in the bridal category the margins are higher?
I don't do bridal, so it's not really my DNA. But sure, I think it is. But they also take longer to make. And they have a longer shelf life. We sell product very quickly, and we have a daily cash flow. Our cash registers are always ringing. We sell more because it's truly ready to wear. So she comes in, there's a blouse she wants to buy, there's a dress she wants to buy, there's a pant, a jacket, a pair of shorts. So she's in, out, it's sized to her. She gets it in her size, and then our customer is gone. For bridal, it's a process. It's meetings with the head designer, with their team. It's the events. It's going back to the jewelry, going back to the month, going back to the parents, the in-laws. There's a lot of decision makers. It's a whole different business, actually.
Was that the reason why you consciously didn't choose to be in that
So
category?
back in the day when I started my career, I used to do bridal because there wasn't a ready-to-wear business in the country. There was no ready-to-wear, there wasn't a client, there wasn't product, there was nothing. So I did that for a few years, and I did enjoy it as a younger designer back in the day. But I enjoyed it. I love the colors. I love the embroideries. I love to research it. But my heart kind of went towards the ready-to-wear direction. It went towards the contemporary clothing direction. I feel strongly about it. I wear it every day. I use it the most. And that's what I wanted to build upon. Which is why I pivoted from, my bridal days to a contemporary designer.
Yeah. I'm sure the pivot has been monumental for
you.
you.
It has. 100%.
But speaking of that, today you've created a great brand name for yourself. And let me start off by asking you as to what does it really take for an ordinary designer to become an extraordinary label which the world recognizes, starting with your home country, which was India. How did you even create a name that people would trust? Because trust is a big factor in today's world when it comes to any purchasing decision. So how did you start off when you had just started, and which year was it when you kicked things off?
I kicked things off in, it was early days, it's been over 25 years. And I just, like I said, there wasn't a ready-to-wear business back then. So I was doing bridal, I was doing wedding wear, occasion wear, because that was the only business there at that point. And from then on, I went on to my ready-to-wear direction, and I never turned back, I never stepped back. And what gives people the confidence or to keep coming back, I think, is In my business, I think in any business, product is the hero.
Yeah.
If you can serve a product which your customer keeps coming back for season after season, that's the winning, that'll win the day. It's the product, it's her, how much she uses it, how good she feels in it, how comfortable she is in it, how well it's cut and sized, how many times she uses it, kind of thing. So I think product is what led me apart, with kind of got us in front of the race, got me recognized, and made my business legit.
What kind of products did you think worked out for you really well in the initial days, which people were like, wow, we've not seen this kind of a design before, we want it?
In the initial days, I think it was the colors. I always loved the colors, the balancing of colors, the embellishments, because it was Indian clothing, bridal clothing. It was still, even then, very contemporary. It wasn't very ethnic. It was still very modern, even though it was Indian back in the day.
Yeah.
So I feel like my product always got in front and was appreciated. It was also it is to this date, very easy to wear. It's fuss free. You can wear it and go out in the day. You can use it in the evening. So I feel like the usability of the product also kind of, stepped up, and people kind of responded to that.
But tell me, like, if I were to ask you, which are the 3 most important things for somebody who's like in their 20s, starting their own fashion label, what should they keep in mind to create a name of their own? Because today, every aspiring fashion designer or a student wants to have a name like you have built, So, I mean, from you, what would be an advice to those 20-year-olds?
To the young 20-year-old designers who are starting out, I would say it's not an easy profession. So there is no easy path. But just follow your dreams, chase them, stay in your lane, and also stay true to what you feel strongly. What is your core? What is your design sensibility? Who is your customer? Like, who are you dressing? Do you know her demographic? Do you know her needs? Do you know, where she wants to go with your product? So know your customer. I know at 20 it's really hard to know that, but the sooner you know who your customer is, and you make product for her and you design for her and dress her, I think that will be a winning point. And it's a very tough business. So just stay resilient. Don't get frazzled by other people's opinions or what they feel. If you have a really strong conviction and a strong design hand, of what, like, I love prints, and I've always designed them, worked on them, developed them. So that was our hand. That is the Ranna Gill hand. Our prints. Those are our signatures.
Yeah.
So whatever your signature is, keep kind of upping that.
Yeah.
Work on that. Keep making that stronger. Keep building upon your signature after having found it.
Yeah. And like, any incidents from your journey, from where you personally, learnt a lot, any setback that you faced or any challenge from which you learned, and you'd like to share that learning with our viewers, who are pursuing fashion, because, stories sell more than anything else. So if they hear any of your incidents where you had a heartbreaking moment and you overcame it, or you knew how the solution had to be found, that would be great for us to know that what really happens in fashion, behind the glamour curtains that we see outside.
Fashion is not glamorous at all. It's such a terrible myth, and it's not. It's a daily grind. It's daily, everyday hours, and it's a lot of sweat. It's just a lot of sweat. So it just looks glamorous, unfortunately, and it's anything but. But challenges, there's many. I mean, There's COVID was a very big challenge for me and my industry, in my industry. So many retail stores, rental stores being closed all that while. What do you do with that product? You know, it was terrible. So that was one of our biggest challenges. There was a lot of learning in COVID. I had never heard of the word in any of my leases called force majeure. Yeah, I didn't even know what that word meant. And during COVID, we learned that word, and
For
now
our audience, can you explain what that means?
that, yeah, so that means you know, by any like there could be a natural disaster or an earthquake or you know, like a worldwide illness like COVID was. You and your landlord will both meet at certain terms. I mean, you can't ask him totally for rent free, and he can't ask you to pay full rent. So both of you will meet at a certain, whatever the terms might be, that decided upon by both of you, and then they will be mutually kind of decided, because during COVID, nobody really had those clauses. Nobody even knew what they meant, and everybody from all kind of landlords, from malls to high street to smaller landlords, everybody was coming on the table and had their own set of negotiations. So that was a very big challenge in my career. And sourcing is another big challenge, when we're always trying to find newness in fabrics and newness in textiles, and to find those and to have that high level of quality that we want to serve our customers, and to keep the consistency in the quality is also a very big challenge. So sourcing, COVID, finding talent, also having the talent stay and work with you for a number of years. So you're working, you're going through the motions, there are many challenges, and then you kind of learn to get past them, go around them, kind of, you know, and that's how you move forward. So it's just everyday working challenges with boots on ground will teach you how to kind of keep going forward.
I'll touch upon these three things that you mentioned about sourcing, talent, and you know, keeping up with the trends.
Yes.
So in terms of sourcing, let's just pick up the latest collection which you're wearing.
Yes.
For example, how do you source this kind of cloth, and how did you design what you're wearing currently? What was the process for this one? Since everybody is seeing this, it'll be easier to understand with this as an example.
So the fabric is linen viscose, and since you know, I retail mostly a lot in India, it's very warm, you know, our country. So we need a staple fabric which is very comfortable yet luxurious. So staying away from polyester, keeping a natural fabrication, because you can wear it from morning to evening. It's very comfortable. It feels very soft on the body. It breathes. So that is the fabric find. I found many, you know, we work on many different fabrications till we nail down which is going to be, you know, carried through 70% of the collection. But you have to wear it, you have to dry clean it, you have to wash it. It has to go through many processes up until you nail it down that, yes, this is what we're going to move forward with. And the prints, we design our own prints. I have my own printing plant. We print ourselves. So we don't outsource it. We learnt all the processes from the beginning to the end, from padding, steaming, the boiler room, the print colors, you know. So it's all of that learning. It's a science, actually. From
Where is the plant?
In our factory in Udyog Vihar. In New Delhi, in Udyog Vihar in Delhi, in Gurgaon. So the factory is there, the plant is there. So we put our own plant up to make our own product, you know. And so having found and developed the fabric, having researched on it, having worked on it, then printed on it. So we kind of make the product from start to finish.
So usually these prints, do you like design it on a piece of paper
CAD.
first?
We CAD them. So we get our mood boards going.
Huh.
That this is the collection. This is what we're going to design
Yeah.
into, and then we start CADing, and it's
What
very
does
technical.
CADing mean?
It's done. It's a CAD. I mean, they are done on the computers. That's the process. We kind of. It's a digitized process.
Okay.
We make the designs, like this is called our bokeh print.
Okay.
The collection we're showing later today is called the Palm Beach print. So it's based of all the Palm Beach inspired
Nice.
motifs. It's all those palm trees. It's the colors from the Palm Beach. It's the sunset colors. And so we design all that. We CAD it. So we start with little motifs, then we put it together, then we grow. It's a science, like I keep saying. But it's a great process. It takes time.
Yeah.
We put our minds together, and we
But
kind of
I'd
build on
love
it.
to know, so like the
Yes.
design is on the computer first.
Yes.
And then
it is.
from the computer, how do you like put it onto that machine from where it gets printed on
They
that
transfer
linen?
it. It's like data. So they design the whole. They design the repeat, or they. It's a lot. I do a lot of placement prints.
Okay.
So on a jacket, or even on this dress, we
Yeah.
have a lot of panels.
Right.
So each of the prints are designed on the panels on the computer. So the CAD artists design. All these seashells
Got
and all
it.
of these geo patterns
Yeah.
are designed on the panels. And then on the panels, they work on the colors, they work on the motifs, and they kind of set it on the CADs.
Huh.
After that, that information is then transferred onto the print machines. And then the print machines then absorb that and kind of link into that, sync into that, and then design and then print the panels and the prints.
Yeah.
And then we kind of do a couple runs before the final print is okayed.
Huh.
The colors are okayed, and we all kind of give a nod to it. And then we size it. We go from extra small to sometimes double extra large.
Yeah.
And then those designs, since they're engineered, are set on those sizes. And then we kind of, and then they get printed, they get
Yeah.
out of the print, we finish it, steam the process, and they go to the washing, steaming, and then go to the cutting tables.
Interesting.
It is. It's a factory production process.
Yeah, and how long does it take from the computer to the actual cutting where it goes?
Not that long. It could take, design takes a while because you're really reworking and reworking until you perfect it.
Like, for example, this kind of a design would have taken how long?
Design a collection. So this bokeh collection, it takes anywhere from 2 weeks to could go as far as 6 weeks. It takes a while. Where a lot of us, and we take a while to work on it because we make a lot of units.
Huh.
So it's not just you make one dress and you sit quiet.
Correct,
You'll
correct.
end up cutting anywhere from 100 to 1,200 dresses. So, we do a lot of units as well
Yeah.
if it's a strong print and if it's a strong body. So, but the time would be anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks.
Got it. And for one piece of one particular design, like this one, how many pieces do you produce?
Like I said, it could be anywhere as low as 50 units and could go up to, it could even go up to over 5,000, depending on the strength of the design.
Understood. But the strength, you can only test it once it's out
Hits
in the market.
yeah.
Yeah.
The customer starts to respond.
Right.
It sells very quickly. We have to do a rerun, a recut, a
Yeah.
reprint. So that's all based off sales. So once it's the customer kind of warms up to it, she's started to buying it, then we see through all our stores that there's a quick reaction.
Yeah.
And then we take a decision. Sometimes we kind of go with our gut because I've been in the business a long time. And so we also do our first buys based off our projections.
Yeah.
And then many a times a design goes into our third cut as well. So there's a first round based on projections. The second round could be based off sales. That, this is doing really well, let's quickly, reproduce it.
Correct.
But it's never really quickly, it still takes
Yeah.
a minimum of a month.
Right.
And then sometimes there's a third, because it's even the second run has gone out so quickly. It's sold so quickly.
But in the production part, you're saying the computerized design takes a lot of time.
It does. Well, No, so the machine, we print once every, all the ducks are in a row. The printing process is not that long. It takes about a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
But getting that design right
Yes.
takes a lot of time.
Yes. Yes.
And how many people work on the design element?
Oh, we're a big team. We're a team of almost 15 people
Huh.
who work on designs, CADs, and I think we're still less. I think we need another 15 people. We need a big team because
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have a big, we have a lot of landscape. We have
Correct.
a lot of stores, so
Stores,
we,
yeah.
yeah.
But tell me one thing now, coming to the talent part. How do you work along with your team, since it's your vision and your kind of ideation and inspiration of the kind of prints that you want? How do you try to communicate that to them and make sure that they understand what you are thinking? Because sometimes human communication is so misunderstood, and it's very different to creatively explain somebody what you are thinking of. So how do you actually do that? Because I'm sure you might not personally be doing every print and design by yourself. So how do you transfer that kind of ideation to your team?
I do every print with my team by myself.
Yeah.
So it's not like I let them do it and they serve it up to me and I say, oh, amazing. Not true.
Yeah.
We all work all day, every day together, and we create the collection. So I know which prints are being made. We all decide colors, we decide motifs. So yes, so I do know that. It's not like it's done and they just show me the finished product and I was like, oh wow, this is not true. But how do I work with my team and how do I get them inspired and tell them what it is, my vision? I kind of speak to them a lot. We have a very open communication method of working in our office. Everybody throws ideas out. I will tell them that this is the vision for fall. This is what we need to go after for spring. Let's do a lot of strong geos. Let's do a lot of strong landscapes. Let's do, like we're doing equestrian now for fall. So beautiful horses. So let's develop that. I talk to them a lot. We look at a lot of visuals. We research a lot. I send them tons of ideas. We kind of talk to each other. We look at all the direction put out through various other publications, and then we work on the design. So it's we all kind of hold hands. It's freely exchanged ideas and a lot of communication, a lot of research. And then the final kind of signature comes out. But it's working all day, every day together.
But give me like an example with your new collection only. How did you get inspired by it, and then how did you just go about it until the end production?
Inspiration is. There's no one way to get inspired. I could be driving here to you to this morning, and something might have hit me.
The BKC
color,
city landscapes.
A color, a building. So there's not a season, a floral, or so anything. Inspiration is everywhere. A book. A lot of music notes or a musical that's very upbeat and you're listening to it. So inspiration is, there's really no one place that you can sit and say, oh, I'm so inspired this morning by whatever. But it's everywhere.
Like for example, this print, where was it inspired by?
It's all seashells.
Yeah.
And so we mixed all these seashell patterns, going back to geos, going back to all these grid patterns. Inspired, we kind of put it together, different swatches, different sketches, doodles. There's so many things that we do before the end product is served and made and finished.
Yeah, I'm sure this might have taken a lot of work.
It does. It does. Also because we do so much of it and we do it, all the time. We also kind of go with the rhythm. There's a flow. We all kind of go with, get on with the rhythm and go on with the flow kind of thing. Yes.
Like just to understand it more deeply, and
Yes.
also because a lot of students who are studying fashion will hear this, I want to understand like if with this kind of a print, you
Yeah.
might have just told the team that okay, I want something which has a lot of beach-inspired
Yes.
seashells
Yes.
and whatnot. And then after that, how did you and they think of this particular colors and design?
So we start with, so I said, let's do sea inspired
Huh.
prints. Let's go back to the ocean. Let's see what we can do in that world, in that category. So then we start working on seashells and all kind of, aquatic things that we see under the water, or tons of different types of seashells. And then we do all those sketches and doodles on the computer.
Huh.
Then we go back to making a little bit more modern and not so literal. So then the modern patterns come, and the modern has to be in a grid, because we like the grid to go back to the seashells. It's a design process.
Yeah.
It's how it flows. And then we didn't want to do florals with seashells. We want to do geos with seashells.
Huh.
And then how do we place them together? This is a panel dress, so how do they come in the panels?
Yeah.
And then the ivory, a little soft tones of yellow with the blacks. Because it is seashells, does it have to be in blue and white? We can do them in blacks and ivories as
Yeah.
well. So there's so many, it's endless. It's an ocean.
The combination of colors might be so many. How
Oh my
do
God,
you
it's an ocean.
click on one particular thing and double down on it that okay, like for example, black and ivory is looking great, and I'm sure you might have tried other combinations also.
we did.
How do you decide that okay, this is the final one to go ahead with?
So colors for me is mostly based off a season. So if you're going to go into spring, there are certain color palette that we do like to use. Although in design and fashion there is no set rule. You can, you are a designer, and if you have such a strong conviction about a certain color or a certain pattern, you can take it and run. You can take it and run in any month of the year. It doesn't really matter so much. Having said that, there are certain seasons that call for a certain color. So fall is mostly a lot of spice colors, a lot of jewel tones, a lot of black, navies, dark olives, grays. So that is what fall. Those are what fall colors, literally are worldwide. And spring is mostly lighter, and black and ivory being a staple. So there's really, these colors are seasonless.
Yeah.
But in the spring, it's mostly softer, more pastel florals, more fruit and flower colors, which go. But yeah, I mean that, and it's also because it's warm out, it's hot, it's the sun is bright, it's kind of strong, so your colors should kind of fit in that
Right.
time of the year. So I think color is an important part of design and prints for sure. Color
Yeah.
is a very important factor. Yes.
Yeah, very true. And I'm sure that it's like a very tough call to decide on one. But
It is.
when you're very clear with what your mood board is like, it becomes easier.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We keep coming, but mood boards also grow and change. So it's not that, oh, we set the mood board like this and this is what it is. Because when it actually comes to life from the mood boards, it also starts looking different. It kind of finds its own way. So you have to pivot and to change and to kind of go with the flow. But we also try to stick to the vision, but it also finds its own way,
Got it. Understood. And now I want to actually come to the segment where we were discussing about your other expansion strategies.
Yes.
Apart from the clothes, because I've seen a lot of people globally also, double down on different other things since their name has already been created.
Yes.
So people will trust the name, and more than that, they will also see, okay, what new product is that name coming up with to
Yes.
buy. So what is your now future expansion strategy looking like after the clothes? What are you thinking of doing next?
I definitely want to have more stores. That is an important, in the ready-to-wear segment. In my world, I would like to have more stores. I have 15 at the moment. I would like a bunch more. So that is one. And to an extension of my brand, I would love to do home. I love home. I would love to do this. The home world is endless as well. So I would love to do that. I would love to do skincare and makeup.
Yeah.
I would love to do jewelry. It's endless. I would love to do jewelry, like day jewelry, not because I'm a contemporary designer. So contemporary jewelry, I would love to do skincare and makeup. Athleisure wear is great. Intimate apparel is great. There's so many things.
And how do you plan to go about some of these categories of expansion?
That would be with partnerships, and that would be, when I'm ready to go there. At the moment, I want to stay in my lane and continue to do what I do, just increase my retail footprint. That I want to do in staying in my lane. And then once we achieve a certain number of stores, and I feel like, all right, now we're in a good place. Now let's start talking to other partners and seeing how to leverage the Ranna Gill brand and do other things with it.
Right. But tell me, which was your first collection that really went sort of viral, which people loved and admired so much, which laid the foundation of the brand Ranna Gill?
I had done an ikat it was in Lakme Fashion Week, one of the Lakme Fashion Weeks back in the day. I had done an ikat print.
Okay, what's that?
Ikat. It's a pattern. Ikat is very famous. It's a famous Indian pattern, the ikat pattern, if you look it up. And I had done that, and people back in the day, they used to make they still do, they make a lot of ikat saris, and that woven kind of, in that jacquard, there's a lot of saris, there's a lot of home furnishings, and I wanted to put that ikat pattern in a knitted jersey dress.
Okay.
So that I feel like was my... it kind of just took off from there. It just exploded. How I used that ikat in a knitted jersey strap dress, and it became very youthful. It wasn't it wasn't costumey or textile oriented, and it became very modern. Everybody was wearing that ikat jersey stretch dress, with straps on it. So I feel like that was a moment which I took an Indian traditional pattern, textile pattern, and contemporized it. That was that was a moment where I kind of just said, oh wait, I can use this and now modernize it.
So through that fashion show that you did, a lot of people started reaching out to you, is it?
Yes, and I got a lot of press for it. It was I was kind of recognized for it. It was celebrated, and it was sold. I sold a bunch of dresses, so many, and that kind of made me realize that I can take a traditional Indian patola, ikat, pulkari, kind of take traditional Indian block printing and modernize them in jersey, in a knit, in a linen, and cut a dress out of it, cut a blouse, a crop top out of it, cut a pair of shorts out of it, make a jacket in it. So, and not just only be worn as a sari or an Indian kurta or an Indian lehenga, for those functions. Just modernize them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people, like recently I heard of a painter, his name is Jayesh Sachdev. He partnered up with Zara because his designs in painting were so unique that they loved it, and they exclusively launched a collection with his kind of paintings on those kind of sweatshirts and pants. So, I mean, why haven't many designers such as yourself collaborated with brands like Zara or even local brands for that matter to launch a collection? Because that gives a lot of more visibility for your brand and for your kind of vision also as to what kind of prints do you like.
We haven't done that as yet. We keep talking to various companies. People contact us as well. Would you like to do, a certain wall tile or wallpaper? Would you like to do footwear? So we keep getting contacted, but it's it's a lot of time of us, and I really have to own it and really go after it. Will I do it in the future? 100%. Have I done it up until now? I just haven't had the time, to be honest. And I haven't been convinced enough, and I haven't had the time to do it, because if there's the one thing I need to do with my time, which is so precious, is do design. Because that is the core of my company.
Yeah.
That's what I actually do all day, every day. So I feel like unless I feel 100%, get 100% conviction on what I'm doing outside of it, I don't want to put my hand on it or my signature to it. If I have that much, if I have more time, or if I can get more hours in the day to do those kind of things, I would love to. But design is what I kind of am immersed in all the time.
Yeah.
My design room and me are tied to the hip. Completely tied to the hip.
But do you think that AI and tech can help you fast track this process of designing? Because, of course, at the end of the day, you'll design your own stuff, not take the design that AI suggests, but it can help you, really speed things up.
So we are looking into that, and my team does have just started to research, and we do look at those ideas. We haven't had 100% success with them so far. Maybe it's new, we don't even know how to use them that well. We're also finding our way. We do look at them. We have the app that we have now, and everyone is addressing it, but we've been working a certain way over the years, so we go back to what we know best. So are still working on that way, but we are looking into it. Have we achieved 100% success? No. But we're definitely looking into it. Will we achieve success? I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
But it's early days.
Yeah. I will check out some AI tools that can be of help.
Great, thank you.
Because I know a lot of people who are using AI revolution into fashion and art.
Yes.
And really speeding things up.
And we are too. And yes, they do speed things up, but we're still doing it our older way, but we are looking at it, and we do try and use it as much as we can.
Yeah.
We do try, yes.
Right. Got it. And, in terms of your business model, how do you really create a demand for your collection? What are your different channels of marketing? One is the Lakme Fashion Week that you told me, which got you eyeballs initially. But what other ways do you target your audience? Because like you said, it's more into the luxury category.
It is.
Everything starts from on an average of 10,000 rupees. So how do you find your consumer and target them to sell your product?
Well, we have stores. So stores, is brick and mortar stores is where consumers come and shop. We opened in Hyderabad, Bangalore, Pune, Raipur, Ludhiana, these markets, which I was always Delhi and Bombay, and then we did export in America.
Okay.
So these markets are newer for us and newer spaces, which we've opened now. So she's coming to shop there, our customer. How do we reach out? We do store events, which I'm doing later today. One of them at our Palladium store. We do fashion weeks. We do Instagram, which everybody else does too.
Yeah.
So that, our website, that's a lot, already. And other marketing activities, we recently did a giveaway on our Instagram. That was received very well. We do shows and in-store promos are big marketing activities, and then co-branding with other brands we haven't done just yet, because I just haven't had the time or haven't found the right people. But that could be one thing that we will look into the future.
Understood. Which was your biggest press media release so far, which made you think that, you've arrived somewhere, in the fashion industry?
Well, I've been in the industry for a long time, so it's not just that one moment. But every show, every event, every season, there's something in the press that we do. Which was the biggest moment? There's not this one big moment. It's series of moments. It's series of events. It's staying in the game, staying in your lane, staying active, continuously working on so many things is what leads to, to us today. So I
Yeah.
don't think there was this one event, this one
You can give
momentous.
me your top 3 life-changing moments in your career so far.
Top 3 life-changing moments in my career is when one of them was when I pivoted from Indian bridal wear to contemporary clothing. That was definitely one of them. The other is when I started to play around with prints, and then ultimately I said to myself that this is our signature. This is what we're going to do mostly every season, and design around it was to make it, that's who we are as a brand, our hand, our signature. And the other top moments is, I don't know, just having this enormous customer base who's always believed in us. And
How big is your customer base now?
it's huge.
Over the years?
I mean, it runs into millions of ladies who keep coming back to buy Ranna Gill. And she's loves it. She comes back for it. Her daughter is now buying the brand. It's the mother and daughter shopping. And I love it because I'm in business with my mom and my dad. My mother wears Ranna Gill. Rana wears Ranna Gill. My daughter, who's now 14, also wears a little pair of shorts or a blouse here and there.
Now
So
Radhika will also wear Ranna Gill.
Yes, Radhika will too. So I feel like that's a really big moment for me when I can dress 3 generations of women and she keeps coming back for more. I think is a very kind of an important
What do you
piece of
think
the
is
puzzle.
the sticky factor in your product for your consumers? Why do they keep coming back, not just for themselves, but for their next generation?
I think it's
also?
very variable, and the mother can wear it, the daughter can wear it. The mother will wear the button-down shirt with a pair of pants. The daughter will wear the shirt and open it up and wear a bralette with a pair of shorts. So she styles it her way, the mother styles it her way. I feel like the wearability of my brand, the consistency and the wearability is what she keeps coming back for.
But why haven't you segued into men's category or children
I have
wear?
no interest in menswear. I just doesn't do. I would rather do home. I would rather do jewelry, fashion. I mean, makeup and skincare. Menswear.
I mean, these kind of prints will look so good on different
we'll
shirts
see.
and all.
Maybe in the future, but
Yeah.
I haven't really given too much thought to it.
I mean, for your Dubai store, too, you must definitely do it because
Menswear?
there people love wearing such fancy stuff.
They do.
like to dress themselves up a lot because they're always into those white, outfit. And when they go out to shop in LV, Gucci, all of these stores, they don't find prints like these.
Yeah.
Especially the men. I mean, ladies find any print anywhere, given how well researched they are. But for men, if they find something like this in a collection, they would love it.
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for the input. I'll think about it. For sure.
I'm sure you might have gotten this input before also. No?
I've been getting it for a really long time. I just I just can't do something just to do something.
Yeah.
The menswear business is a very large business, and it's its whole set of science behind it too. There's sizing, there's product every season, there's where do you position it, going after that customer. It's a business of its own. So you just can't hang a bunch of shirts in a shop and say, okay, now I'm doing menswear. No, you can't. It's it needs its own, they need their own stores.
Right.
And so it's a whole other business. So we'll see. We'll see if we partner up moving forward and they would like me to do it, then I could consider it.
Right,
Yes.
right. But tell me, I keep wondering this, that why everybody in the fashion industry has the brand name by their own personal name and not like a company name, unlike in other businesses where you have some other name altogether. So is there a reason why people like to have their own personal branding attached to their fashion label?
I think historically it's been like that. Coco Chanel started with her name, Coco Chanel. There's the House of Dior. There's Prada. If you look in the West and then moving back to home, it's historically been like that. People like to put their name behind. It's like we're artists. It's like, painters. When they paint, they do sign off their names. And so back to fashion, we are the creators of the brand. We are the creators of the collections. We are the visionaries. And we would which is why we put our name behind it, And that's how it started world over, and then it comes home as well. So, Ranna Gill made the brand Ranna Gill, so why not? You know?
And why do you think we don't have global brands from India as much as we've had, like Coco Chanel, you mentioned, how she started and now she's known worldwide. People, love to wear her designs, and it's even transcended her own generation. Like, people will remember her forever. So how can some brand from India create that kind of an influence?
We are doing that. We have created brands. These my brand and others will outlive our lifetime, and they will go on to, moving forward. They'll be, pivoted to menswear, like we just been talking about, and many other categories. So yes, they will, as it has been done in the past. These brands from India, if you stay on it and continue to keep working on it through your lifetime and moving forward, they do transcend generations and lifetimes. They do, and they will too.
Yeah. I'm
And
hoping
well
yours also like expands massively.
It will.
Very soon.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, but let me now come to this category of celebrities, because that's like the most interesting for everybody to hear.
Okay.
And while I was researching about you, I was reading that this Madhuri Dixit once wore your black pantsuit, and it was like around 65,000, and it made news all over.
It did.
So tell me the story behind that. How did you think about dressing her up in that particular outfit, and how did it get so viral?
So I love Madhuri, as everybody does. I love Madhuri Dixit. I think she's such an elegant, talented powerhouse. I've always loved her. And so we did Lakme Fashion Week last year, and we were, we wanted to dress someone in Bollywood. So me and my PR team were ideating who to work with, and should we do this, should we do that, kind of, and then Madhuri kind of agreed. We reached out to her and she said, oh, I would love to do it. And she looked at my Instagram page, and everything was modern and Western and kind of thing. And she typically likes Indian saris and lehengas and tunics. So typically, but she kind of swings, both ways. But and then she saw these designs and she said, oh, they're beautiful, I would love to wear it. So when she agreed, and I said to myself, there is no way I'm going to make her wear something very modern and contemporary. So I was thinking, should it be a dress? Should it be a maxi? Should it be a pair of pants? Should it be a blouse? And then I said to myself, why don't I make it she's very powerful, yet very feminine. And so I said, why don't I give her a pantsuit, a jacket and pair of pants, but in a floral, and it's a great fit, like a very perfectly fitted, contoured and fitted to her body.
Yeah.
And she loved the idea. I mean, she could have worn a long dress with a bunch of layers and frills and frou-frou. And I said, that's not what I'm going to give this lady. She's very powerful, very talented, very strong, yet very soft. So let me give her a pantsuit. And it really kind of hit it. And you see pantsuits from then on up until now, they're everywhere. So yeah.
How did you choose the color black?
We had choices. We would either do an oatmeal, ivory, a soft nude, or a black. And then it's so powerful, black. And there were beautiful peony flowers on it. So black was the color of all of our choices. We did a bunch of strike-offs and everybody closed on black, and so did I. And then the print kind of came alive on that. So I don't know, it came naturally. It was the color, the outfit, the pantsuit, Madhuri, her makeup, the way she kind of walked the ramp. It was a perfect storm, actually.
And the thing was that, like you said, she's always worn lehengas and Indian wear. So when the media saw her for the first time in that kind of a look, everybody was like, wow, she's acing it.
So we kind of chose each other. She was looking to change and looking for change, and I brought that upon her. And I was going to make sure, it was my job to give her something modern and change her kind of image
Yeah,
for that
yeah.
show for sure. That was my job.
And why do you think it costed that much? Like, why did it cost 65,000? Like you said, most of the outfits
Yeah.
are under 50,000 or so.
Right.
What was in that particular dress that made it so expensive?
So it's a three-piece set. There's a little bralette that she wore inside that you really couldn't see because it was a double-breasted jacket.
Yeah.
The jacket, the pair of pants, then all of the three pieces had crystals on them. So there were Swarovski crystals on the bralette, the pant, and the jacket. Everything was placed print, was engineered. It was, the beautiful, luscious crepe fabrication, a heavyweight crepe, a heavy GSM crepe, the fabric, the printing, the engineering of the print, the crystals, the three-piece set drove up the cost. And we don't have a single pantsuit of Madhuri Dixit left after the show. We sold,
is it?
Yeah, we sold out. And we cut that set. I mean, I think that was a 3-set run. We kept reproducing it because it was sold out.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
How many
sold out.
pieces did you sell of that suit?
We sold, over 300.
Oh my God.
Yeah, over.
That's quite good.
It is for that price point and that product
Yeah.
in India. Yes.
And which store sold the maximum of it?
All
which
of them.
geographical area?
Delhi, Bombay, more. Delhi and Bombay, 100%. We got a lot of inquiries from the Middle East. We sold some to New York. We sold some lots to Dubai. We sold, even down south. But yeah, I mean, there was Delhi, Bombay always on the higher trajectory of sales. But the other stores also did sell. There was this, Kala Ghoda sold, 20 of the over 3, they sold 20 units.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a lot for Kala Ghoda.
And this happened in what time duration
Last year.
after the show?
It took a year to trickle down. The show was last year in March, and then from then on up until now. Now we stopped because once we said, that's enough. Now we need new season, new clothing. We could keep continuing, but we need to change too. We can't just keep,
exactly. When is your next show coming up?
We are having an event later today. We have March is the shows. There'll be a show maybe in September. I might do something. So yeah, yes. So
And do you become a part of the Lakme Fashion Week every year in every season?
we've been doing it. We've been doing it for 3 years. Yes.
Got it. And just for the benefit of knowledge, how does this entry into the Lakme Fashion Week work? Like for someone who's a newcomer, that's a dream come true when they get a chance to present there. So how does the whole process work? How do you get in
That's all Lakme and FDCI. Those people do it.
How did you apply for the first time?
Lakme Fashion Week was invented 25 years ago. There wasn't a board, there wasn't this thing. We all 30 designers got together and made a group, and Lakme sponsored it.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
That's how it
Lakme was our
happened?
first sponsor, correct.
Okay.
And 30 designers, there were only so many, unlike today. And everybody got together, wanted to do runway. We approached Lakme. Lakme said yes right away. And that was the starting of the FDCI and starting of Lakme Fashion Week. And then from then on, it became its own little entity as it is now.
So y'all were like the pioneers of
Yes, we
Lakme
are.
Fashion
Yes,
Week.
yeah. There were pioneers before us, but we then there was the other second tier or third tier, and we were one of them.
Oh, that's super cool, yeah?
Yeah, thank you.
And how does the business dynamics of such shows work out? Do you pay for it?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
okay, like how much is the pricing generally on an average?
I'll have to look into that. I don't really remember, but there are solo shows, there's a certain price to that. There's duo shows, there's prices to that. Then they have sponsor shows, which the sponsor chooses who they want to work with. So there's different categories. So I think it's priced anywhere from 3 to 7 lakhs to get the show, and then you layer on extra models, celebrities. It's a whole package.
But as a package, how much would it cost with the models and celebrities? Around 30 lakhs?
Or more.
More.
Or more.
Given who the
celebrities
celebrity
only
is. Yeah.
But it's all on you. Some designers are not into celebrities. They don't want to be associated, or they might not even have the budgets. they're new and up and coming. Some really want to do it. So it's each to their own. Yeah.
Yeah.
The basic price is the basic price, and then it's up to you.
Mm-hmm. Who was your first celebrity for the first ramp walk that you all did at the show?
God, there's been so many. So many actresses which have
Who all have you worked with?
everybody. I mean, we did Karishma, after Karishma, Madhuri. We've keep sending clothes to, we've dressed Katrina, we've dressed Kareena Kapoor, we've dressed everybody in the business. We've, they keep asking clothing for Huma Qureshi recently wore. We've sent clothes to that beautiful Aditi Rao Hedri. Everybody, they keep asking for clothes. We send. We dress Khushi Kapoor. We dress Meera, that beautiful Meera Kapoor. We dress Bollywood. Bollywood and fashion are in sync with each other.
And these kind of collaborations are mostly barter with celebrities?
A lot of them shop as well, by the way. They go to our stores, they
Yeah,
buy
yeah,
the
yeah.
collection. A lot of them shop, a lot of them source. So it's depending case to case situation.
Got it. And I'm sure that every celebrity charges their own amount, but
Yes.
usually at these kind of fashion shows and presentations, how much would they charge a designer?
It's each to their own. Everybody has their certain set of pricing, so it varies.
Like, what does it start from?
It starts from, there is no start. You could have a smaller artist who will do anything for a smaller fee. Then you have your Bollywoods. So they, it's depending on who you're working with. And also the other thing is, sometimes these artists also charge, that they want to work with you. They want to do it. They choose you too. So it's not like, so if they want to be in that campaign or want to be in that show or want to be, want to wear you, then they kind of bend the rules. Like we had Meera Kapoor wear our pantsuit to an event at the Emporio.
Okay.
She bought it.
Huh.
She could have easily sourced it. We would serve her anything. She's so lovely. And she went to one of our stores and loved it and had to come to this event at the Emporio in New Delhi, that big event that they do in September, Treasury of Trousseau. And we all looked at it like, who sent Meera? Did Meera source this? How was it? And we heard later that she bought it.
Acha.
So many times celebrities buy as well. So many times they source. So it's so many permutations and combinations.
Right. Understood. Very cool. And like you said that each fashion designer likes to work with different kind of models. So
Yes.
have you ever worked with, normal people also to walk on your ramp who are high achievers in their own field, women especially? Have you thought of that idea that, okay, you'll step aside from the conventional models, of course have them also as a part of the show, but also have some people unconventionally who are not into the fashion industry but who are good at what they're doing and also look good on the ramp?
No, I have not dressed women. I haven't done a show where I've dressed women, everyday ladies, but the shows, what I've done is inclusivity. So plus size models, transgender models, which are, just kind of influencers. So that I have kind of opened it up. It's not always the type A, certain type of a model who's got a certain height, certain blah, 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 kind of fits the bill. So we've expanded on that. It's because we always celebrate a plus size girl. I think she looks beautiful. We make product for her. We dress her that. Then last year we had this transgender. So that's what we do. But every day, ladies, we haven't, it's a lot of work to do that because they're really not professional models. So you really have to work very hard on that. Will I do it in the future? Sure. Have I done it so far? Not really.
Got it. I'll walk on your show then.
Okay. Yes.
Whenever you do it.
We will invite you. Yes, Radhika, we will invite you.
Yeah, I love doing it.
So you do great.
Yeah.
You do great. Yeah.
But like you said, looking at somebody's persona, you know what will fit them, like you said in case of Madhuri.
Yeah.
So how do you really analyze the personality of somebody and decide in your mind that, okay, this will suit them really well? Because only a creative person can do that, not any normal person. So give me like an example and maybe explain this. How does it work? You took Madhuri's example, maybe some other person's example you could give who is a bit more well known for people to relate with.
It's a designer's vision of what they want to do with that certain celebrity. If that celebrity is, stuck in a certain mold and they want to only wear a certain kind of clothing, you're like, you know what, maybe we should change the game up a little bit for them. Maybe they want to change as well. Maybe they also want to hold your hand and go in a different direction. So that's actually a designer's eye and a celebrity's, it's both of their minds working together. They both have to agree to go there together, hold hands and move forward. And they also have to trust you.
Yeah.
They have to say, listen, I trust Ranna Gill. This is what she does. This is her job. Let her take me and, as a palette and then paint on that and then make it her vision and take me in that direction. So it's both of us working hand in hand and a lot of confidence. And, because she is the biggest celebrity there is. And she did trust the vision. She did trust with the pantsuit sketch that we sent her. And no, it wasn't a long maxi with this, that, and tears and frou-frou and frills and this and that. It was a very clean cut, crisp pantsuit.
Right.
So she trusted it and she went with it. She said, oh, this is fresh and new and nothing that I do and interesting. Let me do this, And it was my job to actually serve that option to her.
Yeah.
And how we do this is the conviction, how to make her do something that she hasn't done before and do it comfortably and kind of feel strongly about it.
Right.
So it's a lot of thought process and work that goes into it. And then two people have to actually gel and then go forward with the plan.
Yeah. I'm also gonna take the liberty of asking you that, looking at a person like me, how do you decide what kind of dress will suit them? Like, just as a live example, we can do that.
I don't see you in very heavy patterns, based off your personality, based off your intelligence, based off what you do in your career. I don't see you in very fussy clothes. I don't see you in very heavy patterns. I don't see you, I see you very lightweight, sort of cleaner, more, kind of more modern, updated clothing. You're a working woman. I don't see you in, you're kind of on the go kind of a lady. And I feel like those kind of patterns and bodies will look good on you. You're modern, you're young, you're international, you're intelligent. So that's what we would serve to a person like you. Nothing very heavy or very ethnic or very typical or very literal. No.
When you say heavy, does it mean print heavy or otherwise?
Both. Print heavy, embellishment heavy, fabric heavy, heavier fabrications, thicker,
Yeah.
and print too. Like quieter, cleaner, more modern.
Yeah.
Functional.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, with examples, you understand more of how you design a person, because... And how do you work with customized designs? Like, for example, somebody comes to you, I'm sure you'll not serve to anyone and everyone who's asking you for your personal attention. So how do you work out on customizations? How long does it take? And what's the premium that you charge there, for example,
we don't
if
do
somebody
custom.
wants?
I'm a ready-to-wear contemporary brand.
You don't do it at all?
We don't.
You only do it for your shows?
We don't do custom. We're not a bridal company. Bridal companies do custom because you have to change colors, you have to, there's so many ads. We don't.
Yeah.
We design the collections, they're contemporary, we sell them at retail. Custom is just a little bit of alterations that we do. But we don't sit with the client and design the collection with her. No, we don't.
Like, for example, a big budget movie starring Deepika in it, the producers want you as the designer.
I'm not a film designer.
No, not for the film, but for the promotion of the film, for just one event they want. We don't even do that. So you wouldn't do that?
No, we can't make a dress. We can't stop all the processes that we are doing to do one custom dress, which it takes. No.
Understood. Yeah. And is there any reason, I'm sure you might have gotten many opportunities to be a costume designer on film sets for different movies.
Yeah.
So is there a reason why you didn't choose that path?
I have a brand, I have a company, I have so many people, I have so many stores. I'm not a film designer. That's great, but that's not who we
you are.
Yeah. And films, I don't even watch any films, frankly. And that's a different business. It's menswear, children's wear. It's home. So films is a whole different.
Correct.
So I don't even know how it works. Actually. We're Delhi based.
You're serving real customers in real time.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. I don't even know what is the mood board, what is the direction, and I'm not going. We don't have the time.
Sometimes you have to then work with as per the director's vision, and your creativity gets lost in there.
No, we're a contemporary brand. We have a brand. We sell clothes in our own stores, and so we don't do film designing.
Right. Coming to your store part, how long do you take to break even on one store? Because I'm sure the places where you open up, especially in your Hyderabad store also where you open up, it's like in Banjara Hills, right? It's very premium location, and now also in Bandra and Palladium that you've opened at.
Yes.
All of them are premium locations.
Yeah, Emporio in Delhi, Khan Market in Delhi, Kila in Delhi.
So
in Bangalore,
how do you
Vittal
make
Mania
sure?
Road.
Okay.
I think it's location. I look for the right locations. We kind of do a lot of research on where we need to open our store, in which markets, and then in that market, what location. But because I've been around a while, whenever I open a store, I'm very fortunate. For the most part, it's plug and play. So we open a store and the customer knows of the brand. She shopped it in the past. So we don't really have to introduce the brand to her. And so she comes and looks at, Rana's here, and kind of starts to shop. So for the most times, it's plug and play. And to break even, it takes sometimes a year, a little over a year, and sometimes not even. It's plug and play. We opened in Kala Ghoda, we were good to go. Like we opened our store and we had customers coming and they knew of the brand, they had bought it in the past. They said, we now don't need to go to Palladium, we don't need to go to Khar. Ranna Gill is here in Kala Ghoda, let's shop her here. So it was very quick start. And then sometimes down south, like a Hyderabad store, they have bought it, but it's it's kind of a newer brand for the South market. So we'll have to do more promotions, push it out there more than we would do in Delhi and Bombay. So it's different markets, different time. Kind of.
But the fastest break even that you achieved was in Kala Ghoda?
One of the fastest, yes.
What time duration was it?
There was nothing. We opened the shop and we were ready. It was on.
Really?
We were ready to go. Because we already were in Khar for 20 years.
But was it like on day one you were
you can't break even day one, but we were selling day one onwards. Because she saw the brand, she saw the hoarding, she saw the shop. And said, Ranna Gill's open here, let's go. It was like,
okay. Got it. But proper break even kab hua fir?
It was, are you talking about Kala Ghoda or general? It's per shop per basis. It's not a, kind of thing. It's every shop has its own trajectory. South, it takes a little longer because we are not a South brand. We're mostly in Delhi and Bombay. So it's easier here than it is there.
Got it. Understood. And we'll quickly do a rapid fire.
I have,
because I saw you looking at the watch. So we'll do, we did one at the start, more on the business side. Let me do it a little bit on the personal side. And then we'll wrap up.
Thank you.
But starting off, like I told you, a lot of our viewers are people who are studying fashion designing. So do you hire only from institutes like NIFT or premium ones? Or do you also hire people who are street smart and who have that knack for fashion? How's your hiring strategy?
There's layers of hiring processes in our company, and by the time they come to me, they are vetted through a bunch of other people. But no, it's not only, it's just talent. It's we have them work, if it's only about designers, because we have many other levels in our layers in our company. But we have them work for 1 or 2 days, they do sketches, they do drapes, they do embroideries, and then if the team leader likes them, then they bring them on to me. We talk. We kind of So there's layers, and it's not one set for all. It's not we call one institute and say only from there. It's just depending on the talent of the candidate.
But how do you hire a senior person when it comes to you? Like, what do you see in them before hiring? Because I'm sure soft skills matter more in this business.
Yes.
So
All skills, but the determination, what they've done in the past, their skill set, their grit, you know, and their passion for what
who
they're
was
doing.
your first hire in your company?
Oh God.
Tell me that story.
An assistant designer, I would say. I mean, I don't actually even remember.
Oh,
It's been
God.
so long. And there's so many people we hire who've come, gone, stayed. So, an assistant designer, I would say, yes.
And where did you hire them from?
From a fashion institute, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And today, in today's time, if somebody has to apply to you to work with you, how do they reach out to you?
We have a portal on our website. We put Instagram leads out. They send applications. We have a HR division. They send it to them. It's kind of a process. It comes up to my office ultimately, kind of thing. Yeah.
Got it. So people who want should apply to your website.
Yes.
And tell me, which has been one of the most challenging moments in your career so far? Like where you thought that, okay, I really have to do something about this.
COVID.
Okay.
Recently, yeah, that was very challenging because all the store leases, talking to landlords, tough times, stores being shut, so much product in stores, so much merchandise, nobody has any answers, nobody knows what to do, that was, in the recent times, it's that, yes.
So how did you solve for it? How were you selling at
We
that
all fought
point?
through it, the whole world fought through it.
Were you selling that time or no?
No, everything was shut.
So what were you doing during that point in time? What were
Figuring
you
out how
focusing
to
on?
move forward and talking to various landlords, lease discussions, endless.
Yeah.
Firefighting, constant firefighting. All the stock was, in stores, being protected, and then slowly dusting off the storm and kicking off again. That was one of in the recent times, that has been very challenging.
And when you started at that time, what was the
When
hardest
when I
part?
started my career, it wasn't that challenging because I didn't know where we would go with it.
Huh.
It was new, you're young, you're just futzing around, playing around, throwing tons of darts, on the wall and seeing whatever would stick. It
Yeah.
was that. So that wasn't as challenging as now, because when you actually have a legit company and stores and so many people working in them, that is more challenging than when you begin. When you begin, you're just playing around.
Did you begin right after your studies?
College, yes.
And you always wanted to have a brand of your own and not
I
work
did.
for someone else?
I did not. I always wanted to have my own brand.
Really?
Yes.
How were you so clear with your conviction?
I just wanted to have my own brand. If I was going to live my life in this world and dedicate my entire journey to this, I wanted to make it my own.
Which has been your most, the moment which you will say it was the proudest for me?
There's so many.
Latest
Being a
one.
mother, having 2 young children, having built this company, having come so far, opening my 15th store, going on to my 16th, 17th, 18th. There are so many proud moments. Every collection, every season, the sell-throughs. When we have a successful season, we all feel so good and so proud that we nailed it. We really nailed it,
Yeah.
I feel so happy about that. So small victories, everyday victories, that's what
Who's
makes
been
me
your
happy.
biggest supporting system?
My parents, my husband, my family. Yeah.
Lastly, it's interesting to know love stories also. How did you meet your husband?
I met my husband. We've been married 21 years.
Wow.
I met my husband.
You don't look that old at all. Let
Oh,
me
how
just
sweet.
say
Thank
that.
you. Thank you very much. And I met my husband is American, and I met him in India at the time. He was working with an insurance company, and he was living and working in New Delhi. And I met him through a friend, and we went to dinner. My friend, his girlfriend, me, and my husband, who I didn't know was my husband at the time. And we met at a very casual dinner at a Thai place, and we took it from there. Yeah.
It was love at first sight.
For him, not for me.
Yeah. That's always the case.
I was like, okay, I'll think about it. But he was like, oh God, she's so cute.
And then when did you get married to him? After how long?
We dated for a little over a year, and we got married.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How old were you back then when you got married?
Oh, younger.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Late 20s, yeah.
Yeah.
Mid to late 20s, yes.
Got it, got it. On that nice note, thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
Ranna, for being a part of our show.
This was great. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Lovely, lovely speaking to you.
Thank you.